As much as we like to talk about these other quarterbacks and how exciting they've been early on in the season with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts, in primetime here, Patrick Mahomes still reminded everybody he is that guy. He was unbelievable. The Chiefs were unbelievable. I'm going to talk about it all. I'm going to talk about what made the Chiefs so effective. Also, the other side of the ball, what the Buccaneers did well on offense, but also what they did poorly and what the Chiefs were able to capitalize on. So let's get into it, and let's start off with this play, which is going to be a great example, I think, of how the Chiefs were able to be so effective. Because watching this game, it wasn't like they were throwing bombs left and right. I mean, there were some explosives, but this wasn't a, explosive after explosive type offense, which is very much unlike the Chiefs offenses we've seen in the past in the Mahomes era. Typically with Mahomes, you see these Tyreek Hill 50-yard deep shots, but it seemed like they made a very conscious effort to be able to run plays like this and to build a team that can run plays like this, because the Buccaneers are playing a cover 2 zone, which is the exact concept that's given Kansas City trouble over the years. This is very similar to what the Buccaneers did in that Super Bowl, that kind of, famously, quote-unquote, exposed the Chiefs, or, I don't know if I would use the word exposed, really, but it was a way to take away everything deep, and the Chiefs struggled at being able to methodically move the ball down the field. Well, they didn't struggle at all in this game. This is kind of the concept that they can, run, where you basically have 3 players who are going to run relatively shallow all the way to the right of the middle linebacker. So therefore, only 2 Tampa Bay players there. You got 3 Kansas City players there. That's a mismatch. Look at how when this play begins, Mahomes takes the snap and looks in that direction, and the guy in the middle is open here. Mahomes makes this throw, and they're able to pick up a decent chunk of yards right there. So on a 1st down and 15, they got most of the way to get to the 1st down right away. That's exactly what the Chiefs were missing in seasons past, and it's exactly what they have currently, is this ability to do that by having, several guys who can be players. Instead of solely relying on just a couple of players, they now have more of a complete receiving core, even if it doesn't have the star talent that it had when Tyreek Hill was there. And also going over to this play, I got to include this play because, okay, you're getting the methodical, stuff going, but of course, then what the benefit is, you can get that going, and then when stuff doesn't work out, you have Patrick Mahomes to work Patrick Mahomes madness. So first, I've circled a Tampa Bay defensive lineman because he is going to get through untouched on this play. However, watch Mahomes, almost like he's not even trying to get around him. It's just like a little, move. It's almost like he's, an older kid at a playground playing with a younger kid where he knows he can get by him, no issues. So now Mahomes goes over here. But now, okay, you're going up against Devin White, right? Very athletic linebacker. This should be some sort of issue, right? Well, no, Mahomes also is easily able to spin around that and get to this spot where now you have Antoine Winfield. Again, another very good player for Tampa Bay. This is kind of the final boss now. You got, had an okay player, very athletic player in Devin White, and now you got just a great player in Antoine Winfield. And it's kind of that classic situation, right, of do you play coverage or do you rush the quarterback here? If you play coverage, the quarterback can walk in for a touchdown, but if you rush the quarterback, then it leaves somebody wide open behind you. In this situation, it's a no-brainer. You rush the quarterback. Patrick Mahomes was spinning around. He can't even see what's going on. You just rush him, make a tackle. They don't get the touchdown. But Mahomes somehow has the awareness to read this, flip it over to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and they get a touchdown right there. Again, that's just one of those things where it's like Tampa Bay had 3 instances right there where they had Mahomes dead to rights, and it's just Mahomes, so they couldn't get him. That's just one of those things where you have to tip your cap and say, okay, we'll move on to the next play. But when they're getting easy stuff going, and then even when you have good play concepts, Mahomes can get out of that. It just completely frustrates a defense. Meanwhile, on the other side, I actually thought the Buccaneers' offense played well in this one. I didn't think they had a bad offensive day. It's tough because, you get down so much so early that you're going to be throwing the ball a lot, which is the correct strategy, and that's maybe the one silver lining you hope if you're a Buccaneers fan, is maybe the offense will sort of become more of a pass-heavy offense, which it should be. The fact that they're trying to make an offense with this many weapons and Tom Brady a run-first offense really doesn't make much sense. Not that it would have mattered in this game, but in other games it might have. But on this play, it's going to be a man coverage play. It's a 3rd down and inches, and this is just the magic Brady can bring to a team. Watch how right when this play begins, Brady takes the snap, and first is going to look towards his right, and maybe he could hit Godwin quickly, but it's tough there is traffic there, and the other two guys definitely aren't open. So Brady quickly gets over, and he still is able to find his second read so fast, and that's kind of what Brady can bring to the table, is he can analyze the field so quickly and figure out the right guy to throw to. He hit a wide open Mike Evans there because he found a wide open Mike Evans there. The average quarterback doesn't even notice that. So the Chiefs typically, against most quarterbacks, have that play covered up and are in great spot, but Brady was able to do that. However, they weren't able to do it as consistently, certainly not as consistently as the Chiefs were able to work on offense, because they just scored at will. I also thought this play was a huge play in the game. The Buccaneers get the ball with relatively good field position after the Clyde Edwards-Helaire fourth down drop. If they're able to pick up some yards here, potentially at least even get a field goal, it's now a one-possession game. So it would have been a big deal, I think, if they were able to score here. You notice I've circled a defensive back who's going to be blitzing on this play. That is L'Jarius Sneed, who is going to be blitzing, and really, Brady's just never going to pick him up. I mean, one thing that they always tell you is that, we throw to where the guy blitzed. If someone's blitzing there, you want to look in that direction, and this play is going to be no exception. Watch how, look over here. You have both Godwin and Evans completely open, but Brady's read was to the other side of the field, and this is just a good, well-called play by the defense. You scheme up these blitzes at the right time. Yes, there is a risk factor. You could give up an easy completion, but there's also the other factor of if you can time it right, and if you can get it right where if the read is on the other side of the field, then something great like this can happen. Look, Sneed is able to do a great job of knocking the ball out as Brady was holding onto it with one arm. Chris Jones, a great job of falling on the ball. So both of those two guys working together to get the turnover and, really just take away that great opportunity that Tampa Bay was kind of given with the Clyde Edwards-Helaire drop. So being able to get great defensive plays along with the way your offense was playing, the defense didn't have to be perfect the way the offense was playing, just make some plays, and they did. So yeah, really the Chiefs offense just, there was no stopping them. It was kind of crazy how every time it felt like the Buccaneers had a chance to get back into the game, Chiefs just go right on the field and get another touchdown or at least a field goal. They didn't get stopped all game, it felt like. It felt like they beat themselves a couple of times and didn't get points that way, and other than that, they were just scoring constantly. I definitely think that I was very impressed with this Chiefs offense. Listen, the Chiefs are great. Patrick Mahomes is great. We all know that, but I wasn't expecting to be this great. I wasn't expecting this much, especially so early on in the season. I figured it would take some time to gel against a defense that has played very well up until this point. And, I just think that's one of those things where some of these throws Mahomes is making, I'm just like, what are you supposed to do about that? That's just unbelievable. So, Chiefs very good. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, definitely a disappointing loss for them, but I'm also not going to sit here and completely overreact, I think, just because this happens in football. Sometimes you have one of those games. We remember, the Buccaneers have had several, games like this seemingly every year, even despite how good they've been in the Brady era. So no need to panic, but definitely reason to be impressed with Kansas City. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.